Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Galactic Civilizations Newbie tutorial. I'm your host, Colors Fade. There's still a lot left to show you in this game, so let's get started. I hope everyone has got a lot out of these videos. We've covered a lot of ground in these first 114 turns of the game, but there is still a ton left to show you, especially with regards to warfare, shipbuilding, legions, planetary invasions, and those sorts of things. I am a big fan of winning by conquest, and as you can see, we are 0% toward a conquest victory, and nobody has defeated anybody else yet, so we're all kind of on even footing. We are the leader in Ascension victory, though. We have the most Ascension points. We already have 500 Ascension points. But you need to control the majority of Ascension crystals in the galaxy for an Ascension victory, and that typically means either trying to buy other star bases that other factions have that are mining Ascension crystals, and that can be very hard. They usually won't give it up. Or you have to go to war and destroy their star bases and then grab them yourself with constructors at the ready. There is a third option that I've never tried but I've heard of that's really neat. You can turn some citizens into commanders, and those commanders can be promoted, and one of the promotions you can do is basically turn them into a pirate, which makes them factionless. They can no longer fleet up with any of your ships, but they can run around destroying star bases, and you don't take the faction hit, and other factions won't automatically go to war with you because they don't know who blew it up. They just assume it's a pirate. So that's something I may want to try. At any rate, last episode the minor race, the Brainiac, came out of hiding, and their planet showed up in our sphere over here in our part of the world. And what's great about that is even if some other faction comes over here to destroy the Brainiac and colonize their planet, since it's in our sphere, it'll culture flip to us. Right now, while the Brainiac have it, it's immune to culture flip. We definitely probably want to go attack it and get them before they have legions to defend their planet and a lot of ships to defend it, and it would give us a fifth planet colonized, which would maximize the amount of planets we can have supporting our shipyard. So that is part of my goal. For right now, what we have is the Drengin have come in here and they've set up a starbase over here, grabbing some Illyrium, and they had a fleet of ships come down into this region. They're really far away. They're way up here by the Altarians. But they had a fleet of ships come down here, and then we lost track of them. And we're hoping to see them soon. We assumed that they were coming down to Zillar, our first planet that's closest to them, our most northward planet. But in the meantime, we're trying to still survey and do a lot of research. So last episode we did the really hard research, fleet logistics and deep space logistics, which each were going to take over 60 turns to research, and instead we used the capsules 15% bonuses to push these along. And right now we're trying to finish drive miniaturization, but the big one is hull capacity focus, which we're almost done with as well. So our little survey ships are moving along, trying to find those capsules up there. We just got a nice 500 chunk of cash from that, so that pushes us over 6,000. We have high morale, and we have a tax rate that's over 50% right now, so we're doing pretty good, pretty solid ground here. In terms of the balance of power, we're now third on the list behind the Kryn and the Iridium. Even though our military research and production ranks are kind of low, the balance of power graph shows that we're third, which is a pretty good place to be. We have a lot of money now, and so the Galactic Bazaar has several ships open to us. And I want to take a look at some of these ships to see what they do. You notice many of these ships were closed off to us in earlier episodes because they require Promethean. And for instance, this ship has extremely long range and can survey all over the place. This is a survey ship we talked about earlier that earns 25 credits per anomaly surveyed. A lot of these ships aren't for battle, they're for bonuses. So this is a good one. The Zorbert, it gives 100% to the resource yields of any mining starbase the ship is stationed at. So that would be a good ship to go put on our Promethean mine. And now that we're in the Age of War, we've unlocked the next tier of ships. And some of these are really good. There's usually a lot of good influence ships, like this one. Some with some really nice weapons. This one adds +5 research to any planet it's stationed at. This doubles the bonuses given to Precursor studies. So for instance, it would double the bonus over the economic relic or the research relic that we currently have. This is a really neat one. It creates a starbase that has instant 100 influence points when constructed and 100% influence per turn thereafter. This is great for either warding off encroaching influence from other factions or trying to culture flip one of their planets. Another influence one. All ships in the fleet receive 10 points of shield defense. This is a good one for war. We want to keep an eye on that one. This one carries 5 interceptor drones and has a whole bunch of weapons, but it is an escort, which means it'll get shot at first, so you do have to worry about that. This is probably my favorite ship in the whole game when I'm playing Malevolent, the Praxis. It earns +5 Malevolent ideology points each time the ship or the fleet it's in wins a battle. I definitely want that ship, and I want it so that I can start using it to grab the Precursor anomalies. So I'm going to actually pay for that ship, and I'm going to buy the one with the free defense to try to protect that ship a little bit more. And this is our other survey ship that we bought from Mercenary. So you can see I love obviously the Mercenary DLC, and I think it's really awesome, and I use the ships a lot, and I would strongly recommend for anybody who's considering the game, if you're considering buying the game, you should definitely get the Mercenary DLC. I just think it's totally worth it. I'm a little concerned about going far north with that prospector ship because of the presence of the Drengin, so I'm going to send it off in this direction instead, over toward the east side of things. And these two ships are going to become part of this fleet that I'm making, and in fact I have just enough room for one more ship. So the next ship that gets made, I'm going to pop this fleet out and I'm going to send them around to start gathering up these Precursor anomalies that are heavily defended but provide very nice bonuses. And in fact, okay, let me correct myself. In order to do all that, I have to have a survey ship, and I don't have a survey ship right now. So here is a heavy survey ship. It's a support, it's a medium hull, it requires an administrator. So I'm going to build that next. And then I'm going to start building a bunch more longbows after that. So the next thing that comes out, the survey ship, and then that survey fleet will be ready to go take those Precursor anomalies around. And Iridium have a prospector. They have their own survey ship running around trying to get some of our stuff. It's one thing, you're always in competition with the other factions for things. The Galaxy News Networks has broken in to tell us about the most stablest civilizations in the galaxy, ideal choices for family-friendly holiday. The surprise is the Snathy Revenge number 2 on the list, and the Drengin at number 5. That's quite funny. Alright, the heavy survey will be ready in a turn. In the meantime, that survey ship so I had sent this constructor over here to try to get this antimatter and this Illyrium at the same time, and it can't. No matter how I move this around, I won't get it. So I'm going to grab the antimatter instead, and then when we go Starbase Extension module on there, we'll be able to get that Illyrium if somebody doesn't beat us to it. So mining. How much? I have 5 Durantium, so I can go through here and I can put the mining upgrades on the mining barracks on some of the star bases that I neglected to put it on earlier because of cost considerations. Down to 2 Durantium. I want to see what I have left. So just the Illyrium. Oh, put it on that one because it has 2 antimatter. And put it on that one because there's 2 thulium, and I'm out of Durantium for now. Uh-oh. So I was concerned about moving the Prospector, and sure enough, he blows up because the Drengin have a fleet over there. So that's unfortunate. We have another election. We're going to win considerably easily because of our morale. I'm disappointed that the Drengin were over there and blew up my Prospector. That was my really awesome ship for grabbing survey stuff. So if you eject all these ships, they tend to eject to the upper left, and I don't want to waste a tile doing that. I want them to move down. So you can select all the ships and then select the tile you want them to exit out on, and that'll save you. So there's a really good fleet there, and they will be able to take the Drengin too. In the meantime, we finished drive miniaturization finally, and we could go after warp field theory when we have better research. And hyperfield projection. I really like hyperfield projection because it provides this technology right here, the stellar accelerator, which you can put on every single ship, and it increases the moves of all ships in the fleet. So if every ship in the fleet has this on there, you can get a lot of moves out of a single fleet. It requires a Promethean for each one, and since this is a universe with very low Promethean, I'm probably not going to get a chance to use that very much. I'd like to finish hull capacity focus, and then I need to do some other work in other areas. So this guy's hopefully going to finish off hull capacity focus for us, but maybe not just yet. The Thalen contingency have been destroyed, so they are the first ones to go bye-bye. Somebody killed them off. They and the Taurians were at war with each other, so the Taurians killed them, but the Iridium get credit for it, even though I don't think they were at war. I believe it's probably because what happened is the Thalans will have surrendered all their assets to the Iridium, and so the Iridium get credit for the destruction, but it was the Taurians who were at war with them. So here we go. We're going to do our first Precursor Anomaly survey. It says the anomaly is being defended. Should we engage them in battle? Yes. Victory is certain, and we have a lot of shields, so we feel pretty good that and we get +5 logistics, so that's a nice bonus. And you saw the treasury. I got a big fat treasury thing, and now I can delete my rally point. I can look at my ships here and see that I still have 210 out of 210 total hit points, so nobody took any damage. And my one special ship in there earned +5 malevolent ideology points each time the ship or the fleet it's in wins a battle, so I got 5 more ideology points. So that's great. So this little fleet is going to earn me a lot of malevolent ideology points over the course of the game now. I love when that ship is available. So you understand, the Mercenary DLC, there are a lot of different kinds of mercenary ships. And there's so many that you're only able to see in the Galactic Bazaar. There's 4 ships and 3 tiers, and so there's 12 per tier total ships, for a total of 36 ships available to you throughout the game. This is not the same 36 ships every single time. There are more than 36 mercenary ships. There's probably about 70. So each time you play the game, you're going to get a different selection of mercenary ships to play with. And so I don't always have access to this really nice malevolent ideology ship. It's not always available. And if we look up here, I'm going to move this guy along. My survey ship, we got a bunch of neat notifications. The Slin has changed to an emergency coalition government. That's really nice because it gives you a really powerful ship to use in war. It's probably the most powerful ship you can get out of any government. So they're either getting ready to go to war with somebody, or they're going to already be at war with them. And the Your Singularity also changed to an emergency coalition. The Iridium, who just got all of the Thalan's assets, are now at war with the Taurian regime. And the United Planets' first meeting will be in 5 turns. There are 5 foreign ships in your territory without open borders. So if you double click on this notification, you can see who those ships are. One is a Yor. If I double click again, it'll take me to the next ship. One is the Iridium, and some are the Drengin, and we can see that these are medium hull fleets ships, and they have missiles and chaff. So that's a good thing to know for us building our fleets against them. One is a Slin constructor, and we're back to the Yor. So this is a good clue. You should pay attention to this. Go back to diplomacy then. There are factions I want to stay friendly with, and for instance, the Iridium are one of them, so we need to get back to having an open borders treaty with them so that we don't upset them and they don't upset us. We finally got ion miniaturization as our specialization, so we can trade for ion optimization with them. He's not interested in that deal, but I have tech that I'm willing to trade. So I will trade. I have no problem trading diplomatic reasoning and diplomacy. And I don't mind giving him a little bit of money actually as well. He has a bunch of Promethean though. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to try to trade him interstellar governance, which pushes it over the edge. And I'm going to try to get some of his Promethean from him. I can get 3 and pay him with some credits. So that's a pretty decent trade in my opinion. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go to the Yor, who we're cordial with. They're not upset with us. So we want to have open borders with them so we don't make them mad and they don't make us mad. We got, okay, targeting specialization is a weapon specialization. And before we do a trade, I'm going to show you. We did miniaturization specialization, which I always believe miniaturization is the best tech you should get. So I just want to verify that before I try trading with them because I want the other technology there. I want targeting specialization from them. And they're obviously not going to give it without giving it something up, but if I give them interstellar governance, which I already just gave away, and let's see, I could give them supportive population, and I could give them, I don't want to give them any of this other stuff, so I guess I'm just not going to get what I want from them. In that case, I'm going to be happy to just give them the open borders to keep a friendly relationship with, because they don't even have any money to pay for it. The Drengin we're at war with, so we know we can't do anything about them. And I'm just briefly going to run through here and see if there's anybody else that I can really trade with. The Archeans we can offer a free trade agreement to, and they would give us atmospheric cleansing with a little bit of cash. So I'm going to do that because I would really like to have that. The Snathi will give us a free trade agreement, and they'll give us beam weapons and maybe targeting specialization. See that we can get the targeting specialization from them with a little bit of money. Oh, a whole lot of money actually. We'll give them diplomacy and diplomatic reasoning, and that'll work for them. And they have some Promethean too. So can we get like 3 Promethean from them would cost too much money. If we go back it down to 2, it'll only cost us 600. That's still too much. So we'll do this, and they'll give us no credits. This is just an even deal. But targeting specialization is an expensive tech. Nobody really wants to give it up. So we're going to do that. The Iconians will give us a free trade agreement as well, and they have lots of technology here. High output mining is a logistical optimization. Now, again, I need to verify and research. We already picked our logistical optimization of advanced logistics, so we can get high output mining from them, which would be great. So you go back into diplomacy, you can see they're allied with the Altarians, so we want that high output mining. This will improve all of our mines considerably, and there's still room to get some more things with them. So we could get a research treaty from him if we wanted to. We could get I doubt we can get interstellar alliances. Everybody always wants too much for those. We could go with Xeno Entertainment to give us an entertainment network, entertainment capital, a celebrity, some things like that. That'll get us on the way to some morale stuff. We could go for life support. We could go for improved logistics, which is an orbital specialization. I'm going to check that as well. Orbital specialization. Yep, we have already chosen ours, so we could get that from them. Let's try that. We're going to give them the free trade agreement. We're going to get the high output mining and improve logistics. And what else? We can still get something from them. I'm going to Xeno Entertainment he'll give me. Will he give me any of his Promethean? Not without some money. Okay. We'll take some money from him, and we'll keep scrolling by. We can't get a free trade agreement with the Kryn because our current relationship with them is -1. They're starting to get angry, even though We're trading exclusively with them and getting diplomatic trade bonuses with them, but they're just an angry race. It's what happens. The Altarians, we can also give a free trade agreement to. We can't get interstellar alliances out of them. We could get shield systems. We could get life support. We could get some Promethean out of them. They have a whole bunch. So I'm just going to go try to take as much as I can. I can get 9 out of them before they say no. And they'll give me 70 credits. So this is what we're going to make our free trade agreement with. We're going to get life support, Prometheum, and some money. I really like that trade. These guys are angry. If we offer them a peace treaty, they say we cannot agree to those terms. After we blow up some of their ships and take a planet, then they'll be more open to that. The Slin, we're going to do open borders. And they have the weapon specialization, production specialization. So this would give us the 3rd weapon specialization choice. We'll see if we can get that from them. And their logistical optimization of sustainable shipyards, we can get from them as well. We already have our logistical optimization. That'll give us the 3rd one there as well. So I really like that deal. We're going to take that stuff from them. We can't quite get a free trade agreement with the Taurians. And we traded with everybody else. So we're done trading. We spent a whole round doing diplomacy there. And we'll do a turn. And wait for things to happen. So I really want to get another survey ship off the ground. This is GNN letting us know that the Iridium are going to war with the Taurians. Oh, and for the 3rd time in this game, the Archeans are going to give us a ship, a Breeze of Stone M4-2 to help with the war effort. That's awesome. We've made such good friends with them. They've been so nice. I've never had that happen in a game before. We're still trying to finish off high capacity hulls, which we're not quite there yet. I want to see what I have for. Might as well stop by and get that on the way down there. Here's our fleet, ready to grab the 2nd Precursor Anomaly and earn some more malevolent ideology points. Plus 10% income to all colonies. See, I told you those Precursor Anomalies were really nice. And so, oh, this is something else I want to do. I want to grab that antimatter before someone else does. I noticed that the Yor had a ship on the way down, so I'm going to create a couple constructors here. And I'm going to switch the rally point on this to shipyard idle so they spit out. Now what I can do with this fleet down here, that's my survey fleet, you can always click on stuff and rename them. So I want to be able to find them easier in this area and let them know that they're my survey fleet. The reason why I created all those rally points for the Precursor Anomalies is so I can go into Autopilot, I can go to rally points and I can say what is the closest P, and it's this one. So I'm going to set them on a destination and they're going to go on their way and try to get there. Now, I really want to get this Brainiac planet. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is I need to get some legions ready and I need a general. So one of the next citizens I make needs to be a general because I don't have any right now. And they would show up here right next to my administrators if you had legions ready. Generals create legions. A citizen turned into a general gives you 5 legions automatically, and that general can later be promoted with a bunch of Promethean and some Heliosaur to provide 5 more legions. So that's the easiest way to create legions for invasions. The other way is later on in the game when your planets are powerful enough and you've unlocked the technology, you can go in here to your planet, and in addition to having aid economy or aid research projects, you can also have a project that will create 1 legion at a time, and it's quite expensive. So that's a slower way to do it, but it's pretty decent. So I need to plan for all that stuff. So what I'm really waiting for here is high capacity hulls to finish in 5 turns, and then in warfare you need to unlock planetary invasion so you can get the transport module so you can actually send legions at your enemies. So this little ship that they gave me, this Guardian, has 6 shields and 1 kinetic weapon. And like I did last time, I'm going to send all these ships down here to protect this starbase that I bought from the Altarians that's mining Promethean, and that is the only Promethean I have right now. The Altarians have a really nice fleet here. 26 shields and a bunch of missiles. That's something to keep an eye on. One thing you can do, and I guess I need to explain this, so I'll take a second here. If we look up in the diplomacy screen, we can see that the Drengin are only at war with us. Well, one thing you can do is you can go to these people who you're more friendly with, and if we hadn't just traded with them, you can go in there and you can say, I want to see if I can, yeah. You could say declare war on. If their current form of government will allow them to declare war, this will be available. Otherwise it'll be grayed out and it'll say their current form of government won't let them declare war. You can go in here and say declare war on, and you can find somebody that they're not allied with, like the Drengin here, and we can say select them. And then for a certain amount of money, in this case I don't have enough money, but if you want to use tech too, I could go diplomacy and all my cash at 2,367. And if I push this over enough, she says almost enough, almost enough, almost enough. There. If I give him 26,000 in credits and some tech, I could do this, and he would declare war on the Drengin. So then the Drengin are at war with not just me, but him as well. That splits the Drengin's forces up, and it creates a big problem for the Drengin. This guy has 44 ships and 6 colonies. This might not be a bad idea, but I would probably rather do it with the Altarians because they're closer and they could create more havoc, and the Taurians are already at war with the Iridium Corporation. So this is going to be a strategy that I'm going to use, and I've used it in the past, and I like using it, and I'm a big believer in it, is you should recruit other factions to fight wars on your behalf using whatever tech and cash you need. And it really helps the old war effort. Alright, so we got our next citizen. It says, Commander, we have received a disturbing report. Apparently a dormant Dreadlord colony has been discovered, and the fools who found it have awakened them. Our only hope is to destroy the new colony before they become too powerful for us to stop. So another ideology choice. You get plus 30 benevolent, pragmatic, or malevolent. We're obviously going to choose malevolent and say, finally a worthy opponent. We shall hunt them down and finalize their extinction. Gives us a bunch of ideology points. We'll notice over here the Yor have declared war with the Taurian regime, so now the Taurians are at war with 2 different people. The Dreadlords have showed up, and we're going to look to see if we can find them. So here come the Kryn with their squatter. They're going to go for this ship, this world, which we also could colonize now because we got atmospheric cleansing, but they're going to colonize it, and because it's in our sphere of influence, it should culture flip over to us really quickly. And that was our plan from the beginning. Here is the Drengin fleet way over here. This is a Ascension Crystal and mining, so I'm going to pay a little extra money to outfit it a little better just in case they decide to try and blow it up, because I don't want to lose my star bases, and I'm going to try very hard to keep an eye on them. We have our fleet down here, which is headed up here to these 2 Precursor anomalies, and that'll be perfect because then they can keep going west and go hammer this Drengin fleet. In the meantime, I also have this second constructor that I just popped out, and I want it to come down here to these 2 planets, and I want to create an economic relic to help boost both of these planets because it's going to be colonized in a second. But anyways, we just got a new citizen. So this is really important. I said we need a general. We need to be able to do planetary invasions. So I'm going to train a citizen as a general, and then as soon as we can, we're going to unlock the technology for warfare to get planetary invasion. And that's going to take 25 turns, and that means our survey ships are really going to have to go out there and find some more of these anomalies and hopefully get the 15% bonuses. In the meantime, we got another ideology choice, and that gives us the very last one in this long line of motivation for malevolent. This is a great one. Raw production plus 20%. All colonies receive a 20% raw production bonus, which is just awesome. I love it. We're going to take it. And we're going to do a turn, and I want to scroll back because I want to keep an eye on what this Drengin fleet is doing over here, where they're going. We've just received an anonymous tip that the Yor are going to war with the Taurians. The Iconians like us so much they just gave us 175 credits. We have more ships being pushed out now, so I need to go back to my shipyard, set the rally point to the shipyard so they start automatically docking in there. And then I'm going to go back and watch this Drengin fleet. And this guy down here is just going to grab this mine. And actually, I'm going to move him as close to the black hole as possible. Oh. Where'd that ship go? Darn it, we lost him. You have annexed the planet Kanahui from the Kryn Syndicate. So just like I said, they colonized it, and on the very next turn we got it because our influence is so strong. So here's the first united planets with the Kryn as the new head. And it says, in an attempt to lower tension between member nations, the UP moves that colonies will no longer be able to change their allegiance. No, this would be a permanent resolution for all time, and it would basically eliminate influence flipping. You wouldn't be able to flip another colony with your culture. This could actually be a really good thing for going to war, because let's say we go to war and we grab one of the Drengin's planets, and yet we don't get any of the other 4 or 5 planets they own. Their influence would still be so strong that it might culture flip their planet back after 4 or 5 or 6 turns. But if we can prevent changing the allegiance, colonies will no longer be able. Colonies controlled by members can no longer have influence affected. I'm gonna vote yes. Oh, and the vote was canceled due to defiance. So the Taurians defied it, and that means the resolution doesn't go through. Oh, that's too bad. But anyways, we got Kanahui. So the Kryn colonized this planet for us very nicely, and now we get a good look at it. And this is great. It has Precursor and Nanites on it, which has a nice +2 level to all construction and +1 level to ship construction for adjacency bonuses. So we want to build things up here like this. And so before I can build a starport, I need to go to my shipyard, and this becomes our 5th planet at its sponsors. So now that shipyard has a maximum amount of sponsors. I'll go back here to Kanahui, and we can start doing things like that. We can start putting, and we can also take a look at the planetary soil upgrades and see. I'd like to build a manufacturing wheel over here if I can. So we're going to take a look at that and see where it would work. And it wouldn't really work. We could get another one up here, but it's more going to work over here. So we could build a bunch of stuff over here. So I think the smart thing to do right now is put the space elevator right there, put the starport right there, put the deep core mine right there, and then so we can make some money, we want the protocol up as quickly as possible, and I'm going to move that to the top of the list. And then this spot right here with the green floodplain +1 to population will be a nice place to put a city. And in the meantime, I'm going to put that up there, do some terraforming, and we're going to say we're done with that planet for now. So we just finished high capacity halls, which is great, and now we really need to go for planetary invasion. And even though it's going to take 21 turns to get it, I think it's really important that we go for it next. In addition, over here into colonization, I really need to get out here and get advanced construction for the fusion power plant. But dealing with the Drengin in the war right now is the most important thing. And since we're right next to this, we didn't get the 15%. That would have been really helpful. There's a lot of wormholes now, and we would kind of be putting ourselves in jeopardy to go through them, but it might not be such a bad idea. I'm going to very cautiously head over here and try to get that capsule, and then I might go through that wormhole and show you what that's like. I'm trying to get this as close to this black hole as I can, because sometimes what will happen is a galactic event will pop up over time, and there will be more antimatter, and so these black holes will get a couple of extra ones around them. So we want to kind of get as close as I can to covering some more of that ground before we make this starbase. And put the mining ring on there. And I'm not going to put the mining barracks on it yet. I want to save that Durantium for a turn or so. I'm going to come up here and look at our fleet is right next door. So let's grab one of these anomalies. Plus 10 range to all ships, very nice. Now they're out of moves, and so they just have to sit there. The Yor are sending their seed down here to also grab Kanahui, but it's already been grabbed. And here we go. The Drengin are going to blow up my constructor. They snuck that fleet in there. Oh, our constructor might be able to get out of the way here. Yep. So the constructor's going to get out of the way. I'm sure that they're going to go after that. So I'm going to engage this anomaly and get the bonus from it, whatever it is. Plus 5 antimatter. I really don't care about those kinds of bonuses because we can just mine that stuff. But what I do care about is I want to come down here and take on this fleet. Victory is certain. They have a lot fewer hit points than us, so we might as well try and take them out. They're going to go after my constructor. But they only have 3 moves, and we have 7, so we're going to catch them. So here's our first big space battle with another fleet, and when you do this, you can just do a quick battle and it'll resolve, or you can do an actual view battle, and all the viewer is doing is giving you some kind of graphical representation of the numbers that happen behind the scenes. I'll do a view battle just the first time so you can see what it looks like, but I never use this because it takes so long. I just want the battle to be over. And it takes place in a 2-dimensional plane, really, and there's the medium hull fleet there, and all our bombers are going to go after it. And we've got our 2 special mercenary ships here, so they're going to see, Ziskalov kind of randomly floats around here. But you can see kind of a breakdown of what the numbers showed. So, and then after you're done with the view, the quick battle happens anyways. So we get to see that we lost 17 hit points, and we'll regenerate those over time. And we didn't lose any ships, which was great. So, perfect. We blew up one of their fleets. And now we can come up here and grab those anomalies. And this is going to scroll down here to where it's encompassing both of these planets. And I'm going to create a starbase, and it's going to be an economic one. And we're going to grab the factory and the market, and that's it for now. And then this guy is very carefully, he's got 2 of these capsules close by, and he's trying to get the 15% bonus, and we didn't get it out of the one, so we'll try and get it out of this other one. While I'm drinking coffee. So now he'll go up here and try to hopefully get 15% from this. And we did, and that helped move planetary invasion along. So that was great. What do we have? Oh, there's more capsules up here. Alright, we're going to head up in that direction. But I have a really, really nice fleet right now to do battle with the Drengin, and I would very much like to get up into their space. Oh, and so this is a great bonus to us. The Archeans have just declared war against the Drengins. So now the Drengins are going to be at war with not just us, but also the Archaeans. That is going to be great. That's going to help divide their forces a little bit. We're back to this planet, Ziller, the first planet we colonized. It's kind of one of our research planets. I need to get the population up on it, but we don't have any more food to create another city. And I have some space up here to do some construction. I have some terraforming I can do. So I'm going to try to create a manufacturing wheel up here. I'm going to save this middle slot for the fusion power plant when we get to it. And this planet is also ready to go. I want to put a missionary center there. This middle spot out here by itself could be good for anything like a city, which we don't have, but this might be a great place to put Kimberly's Refuge because it would give +5 food. So I'm going to put Kimberly's Refuge on this planet. And I'm also going to do these things. I'm going to add some of that. So before we do Kimberly's Refuge, we're going to do the deep core mine and the starport. And then after Kimberly's Refuge, we're going to build the missionary center, which is going to pump up our port of call 2 levels and make us earn more tourism income. We're doing really good on the income side of things, and I like it because as we get money, I'm going to be spending that money in the bazaar on warships, and we're going to be going to war with the Drengin Empire. So here it is. GNN let us know that the Archaeans have gone to war, and for what now, the 5th time the Altarians are going to give us a ship. So this is just great. This must be part of the new patch. The Slin have declared war against the Snathi. We got treasury, but we did not get what I really wanted, which was the 15% bonus. So we can get war. So here they've given us another ship. It's got missiles and shields. And we're going to do what we continue to do. We're just going to go down here and stack up this. And here are the Archaeans with 3 legions heading somewhere, hopefully to Drengin space. So the Altarians are outfitting us with ships for our Jorgenrud starbase, which is very nice of them to do that. Earth is down here creating another fleet of ships. The Snathi are going to war with the Slin. I have enough money. I'm going to check out the bazaar and see if there are any really good ships. Here's an additional survey ship, and it earns some credits, and I like the Yensguard. It's a nice one. I'm looking for warships though. All ships in the fleet ignore 75% of all mass driver damage. We haven't seen too many enemies use mass drivers, but this is a nice large hull escort with a lot of hit points that would be worth it to have in a fleet for us. And so would this ship right here. It's a support ship. It provides +50% beam range, +50% beam accuracy, and +50% evasion. That is a good warship as well. Powerful prototype beam weapons, and this has 5 interceptor drones. So we have a bunch of options here. I really like the idea of grabbing this large hull ship. I'd like to get a fleet of mercenaries, so I'm going to hire him. I'd like to get a fleet of mercs up toward Drengin space, and I don't have enough resources now or money for some of these other ones, so I'm going to have to wait a turn. So what I'm going to do with this mercenary ship is dock it with the rest of its fleet that's being built around it. And when I have another mercenary ship available, I'm going to take that fleet and start heading them northward with the intention of coming up here and taking care of the Drengin. We can see we got 1 planet there. That'd be like the first one we'd really like to take from them. In the meantime, here's diplomacy. The Altarians like us. Oh, and they're at war with the Yor. So do I want to ask them to also go to war with the Drengin? Probably not, but I think they may be able to handle it. They have 60 ships and 6 colonies, so I'm going to see. Oh, they can't do it. They cannot declare war with their current government, so they can't do it. So can anybody else? Let's see. Oh, so now he will humbly accept the terms if we give him a peace treaty. Well, I don't want to give him a peace treaty. I actually want to go to war with him. The Slin have missile weapons. Oh, I would very much like to have that. How much would it cost to just buy it? Yes. Oh, I can just straight up buy it from them. This is what I like about having tourism and money. Let this be it for 1,200. Heck yeah, I'm buying missile weapons. The Taurians, we'll get some open borders with them. I've always given away my diplomatic stuff and interstellar governance, and the reason I want that is because I want the war college for the commander. It's almost enough, so I'm going to spend some credits to try to even this deal so he'll say yes. So now we get a commander, which is great. I'll show you commanders in the next episode probably. They're a lot of fun. The Archeans we could get to declare war on somebody, but he's already kind of busy. The Snathi are friendly with us, so we're not going to do anything. We can get beam weapons from them though. Interstellar governance. How much would we just have to? We'd have to spend all our money to buy it. That's not worth it for me. Open borders with the Iconians. They also have beam weapons, and if we give them interstellar governance, it still doesn't get us enough, and we'd have to spend all of our credits to get beam weapons. But I'm gonna do it because I think I can make up most of that money pretty quick. They will take a free trade agreement, but they don't have anything that I really want. They have a bunch of Illyrium, but I'm not worth doing it for that. And there's no way the free trade agreement will give me interstellar alliances. Yeah, it's not close, so we're not going to worry about that. Our relationship with them are 1, so we can't do. If we can give them interstellar governance, can we get beam weapon augmentation? Nope. Okay. We can do a free trade agreement with these guys and get biological warfare. We need that. That is my favorite of the invasion optimizations. I like that one. He'll give it to us. And what else will he give me? Some more Promethean? Yes, he will. Almost enough. Alright, I can get 4 Promethean from him and a little bit of cash. Great. Alright, so it's the end of another round of diplomacy. And we have this little survey ship coming down here. Oh, and I still haven't got a 15% bonus. I'm going to go through this cloud. It really reduces your moves, but it's shorter than going all the way around. The AI will continually try to go around those kinds of things. Alright, we got 15% for planetary invasion there, so that moves us ahead quite a bit. Who was that? That is a defender of the faith. The Altarians going to war with the York. We are scheduled for a landslide election, and the Kryn are happy that we're trading. So I'm going to try and hope for another 15% here. We didn't get it, but we got some experience points. I'm not a big guru on what experience points actually does. I don't actually know. It doesn't really give you any more hit points, so I'm not sure what experience points do for ships. As long as I've played this game and the number of hours put into it, you'd think I'd know what that does, but I just don't. This ship now has no more anomalies close by. Oh, there's one way down there, so that's where we're going to go. One more capsule right there. Here we are back on Earth. We have built everything, and the morale on Earth has taken a complete nosedive because we have so many people and not a good enough tech. And so you can see with our low approval, we're taking a ding to growth, a small ding to raw production, and a small ding to 12% ding to influence growth, which is not good. I was saving this spot up here for a fusion power plant, but it's going to be a while before we get to the fusion power plant. So what I'm going to do is put a factory there, and then when we get to the fusion power plant, we'll take that factory off and replace it. I need to get some more morale tech there. You can see our morale is dropping below 80% now. I could lower taxes, but there is one more really good morale tech for us to chase after we get planetary invasion. Open borders, they're happy about it. We got a new citizen, and this is what I want to show you. I'm going to make a commander. We have one general with 5 legions, so I'm going to make a commander. I'm going to train him. And what happens with the commander is this. When you kick out a fleet, there'll be this button down here will change when I have the fleet over. In fact, I'll just eject them all and show you. And you can add a commander, and a commander is a unique ship that will add significantly to the moves for the fleet, and it will add logistics to the fleet, so you can make bigger fleets with the commander. It's really nice. For now, I'm just going to put that fleet in there. When we kick it out and send it on its way, we'll do it with a commander. And commanders, like I was saying earlier, can also be promoted. I don't want to go in that wormhole with my survey team. It'll send me somewhere else in the universe, so we're going to take on this anomaly. Victory is certain. We have a really great fleet with 118 shields. We got 300 research points. That really pushed planetary invasion up. That's awesome. I love Precursor anomalies. They're just fabulous little pieces of treasure. The treasure hunting in this game with Precursor anomalies is so much fun. And if you've played some of the other games, like Civilization or any of the other 4X, they always have things like that. The treasure hunts and pieces of treasure you can get on the landscape, so it's nice. The Slin are going to give us 175 credits because they like us. Gonna get another Precursor element. The ones I haven't got yet that I really like are like plus to hit points, plus 10% to hit points, and there we got it right there, plus 10% hit points to all ships. Awesome. That's my favorite one to get, and that boosted my hit points of this fleet up to 276. This colony is idle, and I was saving this spot down here again for a fusion power plant, but since we don't have it, I'm going to put a factory on it, and later on we'll replace it. You can see there's a trade ship stuck over here because the Altarians don't have any more trade licenses used, so it's sitting there, and if they can ever research that tech, then it'll probably scoop in there. A random ideology event, we can get 30 malevolent points plus 25% to targeting, or we can get 30 benevolent and plus 10 to research. I'm going to choose benevolent because now we're out. We've gone all the way down the motivation line for malevolent ideology, and I really don't care about getting too many more of the malevolent choices. I would like to start getting some benevolent ones now because benevolent has a nice research line. So I'm going to choose those 30 points. That'll move us a little closer in benevolent. We have 38 points to spend, and what I really want to do is get this first one down here, educated, and then the next one, enlightenment, where you get plus 10 research to the whole thing. And then the third one is great. You get the Temple of Enlightenment, which adds 200 bonus to a colony's research and generates a benevolent ideology point every 5 turns. This line down here for research, mad awesome. We got planetary invasion, and we have an invasion optimization in the War College. We're ready to go to war. I really want kinetic weapons. I love having those, and we don't have them yet, but I'm not going to throw a big fit about that. Instead, what I'm going to look at is hull strengthening is 10 turns away, and that gives us that allows the ships to repair themselves in battle. So that's something that I really like to get as soon as I possibly can. Also looking here, this Xeno industrialization line, so I can get down here to fusion power plant. I really want that as well. And if I go down under culture, the big thing is population diversion, so we can get this approval focus, easy to please, and that takes care of pretty much all of our concerns with morale. Galactic governance is 35 turns away, and it's really nice to have Galactic Empire, especially when you want to go to war, because it has plus 20% to soldiering, plus 20% to ship construction, and plus 2 moves. Your ships have plus 30% ship range. your colony limit is bumped up to 24 and the galactic market is enabled with no elections. This is a great government to have for going to war. But at 35 turns, it's too far away to reliably go get. So I either want to go for easy to please, or I want to go for worker specialization. And I'm still looking in here for a technology that I'm accustomed to seeing, and I'm wondering if it's gone because of a change, an update. It used to be, what was it? Oh yeah, it was called gravitational focus. Nope. There's a technology that would allow you to build improvements that helped with ships, with ship hull size and stuff like that, and I'm not seeing it. I'm just getting completely blown away that I'm not seeing it. It's like, is it not here anymore? It must not be. It must have been something that was changed in the last patch, in the 3.01 patch, because I'm just not seeing it. It's blowing my mind that I'm not seeing it. Alright, I'm going to go for Xeno-industrialization, which will give us access to a mega factory, and then we get a worker specialization after that. So instead of just lingering on that, we'll do that. These guys are going to go get this third anomaly over here. 300 more research points. That was nice. And now they're going to collect these capsules, these 3 capsules in this area. So Earth is done. When we finish the current research, it will automatically upgrade that Xenofactory. But in the meantime, what we can do now is aid research. And at present, there is no way to repeat this. There are a lot of people asking for this, but there's no way to do it. So if you press the U key, you can queue up a whole bunch of those, which is what we're going to do for now. Let's queue a bunch of those up. And Earth is getting really close to being able to spit out a big, huge, honking fleet of ships to go take on the Drengin with. And since we have planetary invasion, we're now ready to go to war. We're ready to create some legions and send them on their way. So I think what I'm going to do is stop this episode here. And on the next episode, we'll do legion creating and actually going to physical war with the Drengin Empire. We'll send a big fleet of ships up in this direction, and we'll hopefully go capture this planet, Throthgard 1, and see if we can't put some hurt on the Drengin Empire. So thank you for watching this episode number 6. And I will see you on the next episode of the Galactic Civilizations 3 Newbie tutorial. I'm your host, Colors Fade.